But we can recap Carve for sure. I traded Xela. I did really,
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did good at it, but I fucked up a little bit. What do you want to start with, Carve or Xela?
Uh, we can talk about Xela.
Okay, we'll do both.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting with the daily chart. Um, Daily chart was super duper tough. What I saw, I actually did this yesterday, Kong,
Yeah.
is I made a note yesterday that it pushed above. So looking at the daily,
Mm.
uh, I'll post the chart here. I'll post it in our chat.
Mm.
Um, what I noticed was when it pushed above 310, 312 yesterday, it actually faded after hours. So
Mm.
uh, what that told me is that there's not a lot of shorts involved. So there's not gonna be,
Ah, yes.
so it doesn't have that oomph power, you know?
Yes, yes.
So
I think that's it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's a good thing to know. Yeah.
yeah, even though it obviously didn't work today, but it's not a bad thing. So
Well,
that's
I think it makes sense what you said that yesterday, after the close, it just faded instead of ripping higher. And I
yeah,
think it. I mean, if there were retail shorts stuck, they would be pushing it higher afterwards, right?
exactly,
But they didn't.
exactly. Which is
Yeah.
why I came into the day with a short bias mindset on it.
Yeah.
Uh, and I actually think I had some shorts from yesterday, like very small. So I shorted this into the push, I think into like 305, 306. I covered a little bit,
305,
took a
306.
loss
Okay. So near the open, you're talking about? Or in the morning?
in the morning.
In the morning?
In the
Okay.
morning,
Yeah.
305, 306, and it washed to like 288. I covered some there, and then I took another short when it went to when it reclaimed to
Yeah.
308. In a perfect world, I remember telling myself, I was like, if it breaks the previous high and it goes lower, like it goes to 3 and then it pushes, that would have been a better
Mhm.
short. But I took another short at like 310, at around 10 o'clock, at 310, 318, something like that, risking
Yeah.
26, and I got stopped out there.
Mhm.
And then from there, I actually was longing the dips at 332. Here,
332.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I did really well there because uh, what I looked at from here is I was like the shorts from yesterday. There's fundamental shorts involved here, and they're the worst shorts ever.
Yeah.
332 was yesterday's pre-market high, uh, and also when it retraced back, um, I figured all the shorts from yesterday and today are in trouble. So if it
Yeah.
goes and it breaks the four, it could move. So added there tier one, added tier two at 345. I was on voice with Demir and all those guys, and then thankfully we sold at 75 and 80. I sold all of my long, and then I switched short. Okay, now that's all of that stuff I did, and I'm gonna recap is like, what's a good short setup here? So I think the short at 308, 310 is valid, even though it didn't work because it was in yesterday's consolidation level.
Mm.
And I'll send you a screenshot right here. Even though the short didn't work, I think it's a good short with strong risk reward. I'll send it right here in the chat. Um, GMT's,
You have no clue what you're sending.
yeah, he's like, what the? Wait, do you understand what I'm sending or no?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, GMT's confused. So I think in hindsight, you tell me if I'm wrong, I'll tell you where a good the short setup is and why. So that was a good
Okay.
short setup, even though it didn't work out. The second good short setup I love is actually this 368. And the reason why that's good is because it broke the previous resistance, it washed,
Mm.
and then it pushed 360, 370. Um, but this one is a tough one because what do you risk against is the question. What do you
Oh, I
risk
see.
against that?
I think what I see is that uh after so I see what you're talking about, the 360, 368, 69, but after it came down and went to 340 something and popped to 350s,
What,
that's where I would have shorted if I was paying attention.
at
Why?
2:30?
Because
2:30 p.m.?
3:25 p.m.
Okay.
That's where I would have shorted. You know why? You look at CARV. So that was running at the same time, and at by that time, 325, a CARV, that was already like clear backside. You know, like the algo or the pump or whatever in CARV is already done. Like
Mm.
he's done with that stuff. So, like we were, like I think we were mentioning this in the past. If you have multiple things going up big at the same time, and one of them starts giving up, that could be a sign that could be like a hint,
Yeah,
for the other ones.
100%. 100%.
And but
Yeah.
also like it just by looking at XELA by itself without looking at CARV, you could already kind of tell like at that time it was starting to give up, right? It
So,
was it was struggling to really push higher and making lower highs, near the end of the day. And also you mentioned like yesterday the shorts were there was already very little shorts left.
and it has an ATM too. It has 150 million ATM with
Yeah.
65 million ATM left. So, actually, I shorted exactly what you said. I shorted 356, 352. But one thing I did bad at Kong, and sometimes I get my ass kicked, is you know how I trade. I have a sniper mode, so I shorted 365, and my risk was like 362, 363. I remember, but it was a soft spot. It was like a soft stop, but it pushed against me to 369. But every time I would look at it, it would reject, push, reject, and it did that so many sideways that honestly, when it well, first off is like I would like to your opinion what where you would have stopped out given my average was 365. I remember, sorry, 356, 356 was my average, and I think I was shorting bro at let me see, yeah, at 14:20, so that's 2:20, 2:20 p.m. It went to VWAP and it pushed. Oh no, I shorted at this one. Yeah, I shorted at 140 and I added at 220, so 14, 10, 20. Um,
Okay.
where
So
would the stop have been?
you said you shorted at 1:40 p.m. and then you added 3:40 p.m.
Uh, the chart that you look at, is it on 24-hour time frame or is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I think I started the short at 13:48,
Yeah.
if I remember. And then it goes into VWAP and I didn't cover. The reason why I didn't cover is because I had a bigger picture play and I'm so
Mm.
like my idea was correct. I was like, if this cracks 335, we are going 280s. I was like, there's a big ass volume profile there. It's gonna go there. So it goes there.
Yeah.
I didn't cover, and then what happened is at 14:21, it pushes to. Let me see the high. The high is 359. It goes there and then it rejects, and then I
Mm.
shorted that, and I added that as my tier two, and then I got
Okay.
nervous. Uh, I got nervous because my risk was kind of the same. I was up on this name at this point, but I had a soft
Yeah.
stop at 363, and then because it went going sideways, 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 and yeah.
Uh, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Where
I
would you
think
stop? Where would you have stopped if you had taken that short? Where would your stop
if I
have been?
had taken the short at 1:40 p.m., um, I would just stop break even. Uh, well, actually, I, um, hold on. Sorry. No, I wouldn't stop break even. I would stop at three. If say for example I entered 355, my stop would be 370. So I would stop at the top of that bounce actually.
Are
And
you
I
when
just want to be realistic, and that's what I would have done. Yeah.
you're talking about the bounce at 12:51?
So you're like you mentioned that you shorted at that 1348 time, right?
Yes.
Which would
Yeah.
have been like 350 something
Yes.
price.
Yes.
And I think I was saying if I shorted there, like say 355, my stop would be 370. And like afterwards around 15 15 clock 15 clock, it did go to like 370. So I would have stopped out like top tick
Okay. Can I ask why did you use 370?
because my target, like you said, is would have been 280 as well.
Hmm.
And from 355 down to 280, some 285. Let's just say that's 70 cents, right?
Hmm.
70 cents. I can't be risking more than 15 cents. That's basically it. I just want to consider the profitability of the trade, so I don't want to be risking too much for that target.
Does it have anything to do with the technicals or no?
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you look at the technicals as well. If you're shorting that pop at 13 o'clock, you don't want that to go much higher than your entry. I think uh, I think it makes sense both ways.
So the reason why I chose 363 is because if you look at the pop right before on a 3 minute, I sent the chart in the Discord. The 363 was the previous high. So I was like, I'll use 366, 363 as my stop. But I guess you went one step ahead. Is that something you always do? You see the two lines
Uh,
that I drew?
why is that you true? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see.
So the first,
Uh,
this one was my line.
oh,
My stop
I
was
see.
that, which is I circled to the right, 363, 363. That's what I used as my stop. But you used the
Oh,
higher one. Is that something you always do, or is it just coincidence here? Like you go one
for
higher.
me, like for me, still the most important thing is I want to maintain like my plan has to be based around getting a high R trade, right? That's every single time, no matter what I'm trading. That has to be like my top priority. So like I said, if I enter the 355 and my target is 280, I don't want to be risking any more at all above 370.
So when it got to 320 and it stalls, you wouldn't have covered.
When it got to where
320s. I had volume profile at 320.
it but it didn't 320 it didn't go to 320 uh, not until the near the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. I meant, so at the end of the day, when it gets to 320, you wouldn't have even covered. You would wait for 280.
Yeah,
Wow.
there would be no point in covering 320 because then you're doing what are you're
You're,
going for like what 2R
mm, I see. I see.
2R that it's it's like we were talking about before. The 3R trade is pretty much a successful 3-hour trade is like two successful 2-hour trades, right?
Mm,
Like,
mm,
and then a successful 4-hour trade is like three successful 2-hour trades.
that's interesting. I gotta keep that in mind. Okay. Um, so this short here was good because it broke the previous lows. Um, gotta focus more on the RR. The failure time was 12:30. So sometimes in small caps, as you know, it either tends to be 12:30 or it tends to be 2:30 to 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's true, and
Yeah.
that's what happened here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I
Nice.
think I think the most like I just want the best entry in my eyes is like I said that uh three that 13:25 o'clock 13:20 sorry 15:25 clock
Mm.
when the price was 350s. I think that was really the best spot because at that time you already had CARV uh breaking down huge, which was trading with really big volume and really big range.
You said
So you know, like
13:25
the
or 14:25? Which is
sorry, 15:25.
14:25.
So I mean, just the last hour of the day.
Mm.
Yeah, because you already had that other one breaking down, which was like basically the leader, right? The
Yeah,
main focus of the day. So when the main focus of the day starts breaking down, then
that's when.
I think people really start losing interest, and the algo will give up as well on the other ones.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like
Yeah,
that. And the other thing we can perform better on, Shabab Selnet does this, is this breakdown. Like I don't, I suck at trading breakdowns, and I think you are too, because when you trade a breakdown, you large portions certain times you have to be content with like 1-to-1 risk reward. You put on heavy size, but this triple bottom, the break of this low, which is 1335, 335 stock price, that break, not even in hindsight, and many of the times, I think we can add to a winner there. I am not comfortable with it, but I am thinking for my progress sake or something, when it's something like this, I wouldn't mind, especially if I'm deep in the money, I wouldn't mind putting a stop order at 334, 333. So when it goes below, even if it wicks below and comes back up, because I'm in the money, this is how I, by the way, because we were talking about sizing up, I think about all these small details in like finding something like that works that I'm good in the money and I just, how can I put more risk into the money? So I think that's another thing I should make a mental note of. When I
yeah,
see triple bottom breakdown, it's usually very aggressive. Because if they dumped,
yeah,
so they dumped $150 million worth of thing. Okay,
yeah.
so
That's
let's.
it's really amazing to me how they can do that and it still goes up.
Yeah, I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
I guess it's just retail. Okay, so let's look at Friday. How are we gonna play this for tomorrow? And I'm gonna make notes on this. You tell me, and I tell you my plan. Whatever you prefer. Go.
Um,
How are you gonna
I
short
mean,
this? I'm assuming you short
I
tomorrow.
think I think uh I want to see this pop and make it look like it's a short first, but then I want to see like it does like a squeeze, not really squeeze, but like over that previous uh resistance that it makes, and then that that's gonna like make it harder, give the shorts less certainty. And when there's a level of uncertainty, that's when I want to get short.
Okay.
But still having the chart mostly intact for like a short pattern.
I'm thinking the same thing. I was looking at where where would a lot of the longs be stuck at. So I think 310 to 320 if it gets around to this area, and I
Yeah,
can send you a
I think that makes a
screenshot.
lot of sense. Like
Yeah,
320 area.
yeah.
Yeah, like let it pop first to just over three and fail, but then later on it does another rip, not a rip, but like another uptrend towards 320, and the shorts will be like, oh no way, not again, right? And then once you have that level of uncertainty, that's when the trade starts working.
Mm. And I think the risk would be off of 340s fully, because if it goes above 340, like it's gonna go higher,
Yeah.
uh, something like that. So yeah, I guess I could, in theory, like I think I ask myself how badly would I want to get it tomorrow. So if this pops to 303 tomorrow, and then it
Be
fades,
honest,
would I
I'm not
short?
too excited because look at the range. Like, where do you want this to pull back to,
Oh, I'm gonna
right?
hold this, bro. This me and this name, you know me. So for me, I get married, I fall in love. Uh, this is gonna be we're gonna be BFFs. My range for
Mm,
this, you're gonna laugh, but it's actually 150. I'm gonna hold this to 150.
wow,
Yeah, but this is a swing
that's
short.
yeah, that's a that's gonna be tough. I mean,
Mm,
it could get there in just probably not the next few days, I would think.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't. All I do is I add a trail stop. I've shown you quite a few times. I have like tickers where I'm up like 60% on, just because I leave a trail stop and I just let it go. Here,
Mm.
I can show you.
Okay, I think I gotta go somewhere. Uh,
Yeah.
Um,
Oh shoot. Okay.
yeah, I think yeah, that was a nice recap. Thank you again.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you again.
Take care, bro.
I'm gonna take off now.
Okay. Take care,
Okay,
bro. Bye.
take care.
Okay, amigos. So that was a trading recap. Hopefully, it was beneficial. I'll do carve in the next video if it's helpful. Um, Xela. Yeah. So if it goes to 310 to 320, I'm gonna look for a short. Risk 340s, but just because it gets here doesn't mean I'm gonna short. I'm gonna wait until it looks heavy and stalls. And yeah, thumbs up, subscribe if it benefited you. Take care. Bye.